Walk. Hello, everybody. It's 7 o'clock on a Friday. We got something special for you guys. It is a special segment of Grunt Styles Facebook Live, and we have some incredible friends with us this evening.
Who?
The one and only. The man, the myth, the legend. Our dear friend, Donny O'Malley from Vet TV, and we're cross-platform streaming today.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him before.
Yeah. Welcome. Yeah. Hello, Donny O'Malley, the brains, the creator, the man with the vision of Vet TV. Welcome to the show. Welcome. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing way better than I should be during this COVID time.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm afraid sometimes that if I sneeze in the wrong direction, I'm going to have the cops called on me.
I just keep smashing the share button.
Yeah.
I'm smashing the share button.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be live for the next hour with our friend Donny O'Malley and Grunt Style and Vet TV, sharing a little bit of time with you. It's Friday. It's COVID, so a lot of people are home. And we're going to have this opportunity to have a conversation, learn about a lot of things that Vet TV is doing, Hell to Well, and the big campaign that is coming out.
Yes.
This is quite fantastic. Something we haven't done before, cross-streaming like this across multiple platforms. So I'd like to say hello to everybody from the Vet TV side. And I'd like to say hello to everybody from the Grunt Style side. And Donny, what's up, man? How you doing?
Outstanding. Hey, I'm good to curse, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay, good. Oh, I'm doing fucking great.
And if you're at home, you want to smash that share button and make sure that you push it out to all your friends. So you are in the lovely land of California. How's the COVID treating you out that direction, my friend?
Well, my daily routine is only different because we don't go into the office as much.
Sure.
But we have had to shut down productions, which really sucks. So personal life is great because all I do is go surf or play in the woods. Business is struggling to figure out how to keep making great content when we're not allowed to have these big productions. So, COVID, goddamn COVID.
It's making life difficult for all of us. And was it a couple trips last time I was out there with you? We went surfing. I didn't do so well.
I mean, I just want to say, like, in the next 10, 20, 50 years, whatever, guys, if you're going to eat a bat, make sure it's cooked.
I don't know anything about that.
Just saying.
So, Donny, what is Vet TV? And tell us a little bit about the Hell to Well campaign. I think this is quite fantastic, and I think it's beautiful today, where we have really put a lot of focus. We've been doing the 10 days of giving. We just had Burn Pits 360 in today. We made a very generous contribution to their effort, which they put a lot of attention to the veteran space. And I think mental health is something very, very important to our community. So I'd love to hear what is Vet TV? Why do you do the things that you do? And what is Hell to Well?
Okay, a bunch of questions going on. What is it? It's a great setup, Tim. You set me up to talk for a while, so someone's going to raise their hand.
I just love hearing you talk, brother.
Oh, stop that.
You inspire me, man.
Oh, dumb.
Just look at the notes.
I'm in the presence of fucking Tim Jensen, Grunt Style, all the behemoth. We're aspiring to create as much as you guys have created. In terms of wealth, jobs, opportunities for fucking people to make a living. Like, I'm incredibly inspired by what you guys have created. So thanks for the kind words. And to answer the question, Vet TV is a streaming television network for the veteran or military community. It's like Netflix, but has more comedy. It's an app that you can play on your phone, on your tablet, computer, the television, Roku, Xbox, PlayStation, all the shit. It's just like Netflix, but it's all military comedy. And but the comedy is the main draw. That's why You pay $5 a month to watch it. But then we also have a whole bunch of helpful things on the network, like From Hell to Well, which also known as Mental Health and Wellness. It's just one of the series that we have. And that series is about mental health, military mental health specifically. And what we try to do is identify the ways in which the military has kind of rewired our brains to think, feel, and act a certain way, or may actually not feel. And I try to identify those things, and then we try to get rid of the bad things that we took from the military, get rid of those things, and then create a new identity for ourselves and a more positive, healthy mindset. Because if you're in the business of winning wars, that means you're in the business of fucking maiming people. Like, you get a boner thinking about murdering, right? Like that is what warriors do, right? Like,
I'm going to drink out of the skull of my enemy.
Yeah. And on that note, if you're listening right now, I want to know what branch you served in, what was your MOS, and where you are now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And smash that share button.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I love that stuff, because when people write what branch and MOS they served in, and somebody else in the comments is going to be like, oh, no way, I was a combat engineer too.
Right.
I was in the engineer corps. I was a nurse, so that creates community in the comments. And that's also what Vet TV does. Our intent is to build community. Yeah. That's our statement. We will bring the military community together with laughter. And
you do such an incredible job of that. I've been recently watching the live stuff that you guys have been doing, engaging the audience. During COVID, you guys have done a really great job of engaging with people and bringing ideas to the table, saying, hey, we're thinking of this idea. We need some combat engineers from the Army side. Bring us your ideas. Let's talk about it in this open forum. And you do such a masterful job of that. The staff within Vet TV and everything that they put out in their content that brings people to the conversation and expands on those ideas. I mean, how awesome is that, to where you have created a platform to where people have a voice and can share their stories of their military service. And I think that's unique. And what you guys do with it in terms of producing content is absolutely fantastic. And I'm not blowing you by any means. I'm really saying that out of, I'm inspired.
We're getting 69 right now. That's what we're doing.
Why did I picture that?
Yeah, so thank you for the kind words. We have collected just the most talented people I've ever met in all of our, just really everyone who works for our company is an unbelievably talented person with a fucking crazy work ethic. And especially our writer, director, actors, who they're the ones who write the shows and then direct them and cast and bring what exists on the page in the script. They bring that to life. It's an unbelievable skill set to have, to be a director.
Yeah.
And it takes such a intense vision that has to be maintained for months, all the way through from when you're writing the project to then as you're casting it and then it's getting produced. You're on set 12 hours a day. Your brain is working harder than it ever has in your life for 12 hours nonstop. Combat was fucking piece of cake compared to filmmaking, because you get breaks. In filmmaking, there is no break. It's every second of the day is worth money. Every minute, maybe hours, worth thousands of dollars. And so it's a constant race to film as much as you can and film the best that you can within that 12-hour window. And then we almost always are going right up until the end. And then you're still working that night, getting prepared for the next day. And the people that we have do that every day.
Yeah.
And,
Danny, let me ask you the why. Why Vet TV? Why did you start it? Why? What was your vision of Vet TV and what it would mean to the community?
Okay, that's a great question. The initial intent was to make everyone in the military, didn't matter what their job was, it was to make them feel special and feel proud of what they did in the military. And I had met thousands of veterans through the nonprofit Irreverent Warriors, Silkie Hikes, which You guys are hosting tomorrow, which is the most incredible thing in the world, and I'm so grateful and fucking pissed off that I'm not going to be there. But that I met all of these veterans for, I don't know, at least 1 year, from all across the country, all ages, branches, MOSs, colors, genders, you name it. And I noticed that a lot of people who weren't in the infantry, who didn't do something really sexy, like they weren't that proud of it. They kind of like downplayed their own service. And it was really fucking sad for me to see, like all over the country. And when it came time to create videos that were monetized, which was how the idea initially came, it was like, you know, we can't just make grunt stuff. We can't just make combat stuff. That stuff already exists out there in Hollywood. Anytime Hollywood does something, it's about, you know, like grunts or special operations. And meanwhile, having been in myself and known so many people in different MOSs, I'm like, there is amazing shit that goes on in every single MOS in every branch of service in the military. There's amazing comedy, there's drama, there's high intense, you know, there's sex, violence, drugs, partying, fucking anger, sadness in every MOS in the military. And I'm like, we should make a show for every MOS. And that became the vision of the company.
Right.
Every MOS in the United States military will have a television show made about their experience. And that was the original why. That why has developed beyond that since then, but that was the initial intent.
Absolutely. Real quick, Casey Jones had just put a comment up that the father had passed away, former Marine. So we just want to take a moment there to say our heart goes out to you. Passed away on Wednesday. Semper Fi, hoorah. And he's now up there with our brothers in Valhalla, on the pearly gates, standing guard. So, but yeah, so you're absolutely right, and I think one of the things that I love about the vision that you have created and permeated amongst the team that you have built is, you know, you're right. There in much of these MOSs and all of the MOSs, there's a culture within the culture within the culture, and it gets down to that very granular level. And you know, there is comedy everywhere. It's that shared suck mentality. Right? We could all laugh at it, and we could all reflect on it and be like, oh man, that was a really fucked up time in my life, but man, that was the best shit I've ever experienced in my life. Right? I made the best friends ever, and you know, for me, like 20 years later, I'm still connecting with these guys, and we could still relate on those moments, down to the very moment of saying, do you remember that time?
Yeah. And you're like, God damn it, it's been 20 years, man. Let it go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you guys do an incredible job of doing that through all of the formats and the shows that you guys bring in the variety that you do. You know, I think, and I've told you this several times before, and I still don't know if it's the bias from sharing that moment from the very first time when I came to visit you. But watching Combat Sports Network at your house was still, to this day, the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Because when I was in Iraq and we were getting shots, I was saying to my boys, there's going to be a time in our life where someone's going to look back at this and there's going to be comedy out of it. And you're doing it, and Vet TV and the brilliant minds over there are continuing to bring that type of comedy, and we can reflect on that. Here we are, 20. You know, for a lot of us, you know, I'm an older combat veteran, and there's some younger combat vets that can still look at that and say, "Oh man, I was there. I remember that type of stuff."
More importantly, is going back in those memories and watching this stuff and laughing is helping people more than they even know themselves. And that goes into that healing through humor aspect of it.
Yes. Can I speak on that?
Yeah.
It's your show too, sir.
Yeah. You say, shut up, Tim.
That was called the segue.
Thank you. I was going to tip. It was an assist.
You've got the hand button. Just raise your hand. Kidding.
To your point, Dan, there is a lot of very deep-seated psychology involved in what we do, and how this piece of really irreverent entertainment, irreverent meaning it's a very serious issue that we're making a joke out of, And part of the psychology is that a lot of the memories that people carry with them from the military, not all, but there are a lot of memories that suck, that cause immense pain. Mm. And there are some lighter levels of pain, like, the junior guys and girls who have to wait 2 hours in line for their meal on board a Navy ship 3 times a day, right? Like, that just sucks. Mm. But that's not a deep-seated pain. Deep-seated pain is when your friends, loved ones die in combat, or they hang themselves in their barracks room. And that ridiculous pain, or the guy who has night terrors and he just is running through wives because they keep divorcing him because he keeps choking them out in the middle of the night, right? Like, that deep fucking seated pain. And what we try to do is get you to laugh at the pain, at the thing that causes the pain. Because every time you think of that thing, without the comedy yet, right? Every time you think about it, there's this immense feeling of sadness, anger, frustration, all the stages of guilt. And these chemicals get pumped into your brain that make you feel in a negative way. What we hope to do is that present to you that same horrific, painful shit in a way that you cannot help but laugh. And that's the art, the craft of good comedy, especially dark comedy. It's a very, very, very fine line that we have to toe, and it has to be executed well or it doesn't land. And you run the risk of making shit worse for somebody. But to get them to laugh at this horrible thing, well, now there is a new chemical being pushed into the brain, pumped into the brain, that is associated with that memory. So you're creating a new association, a new emotion with the memory. Right. And that right there has incredible power.
Brilliant.
And you don't even, like you just said, Dan, he said they don't even know it. That's why they don't know it. All they know is they're watching somebody step on an IED and get blown to bits on fucking Combat Sports Network, which some of us, myself included, that's why I wanted it in there, have seen in real life. Right. And the way it's presented, and especially when you hear the two announcers who are making a joke about the American stepping on the IED, oh, he's going to feel that one tomorrow.
The terrorists have elected to receive.
We do have a phone call. Why don't we take a call and see what somebody... Oh, no, they dropped. Okay. Well, I don't want to cut anybody off.
It's a powerful thing. They don't realize it. It kind of stays with them. It lingers with them after they've seen something like that makes them laugh for fucking 5-10 minutes. Yeah. And there's some new chemicals in the brain associated with these memories that there's new brain chemistry is the most simple way to put it. And there's a powerful thing.
And we do have a phone call coming in. Let's see who it is.
Hello, caller. What's your name or call from?
Hello.
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 Yeah,
What's cracking?
You're on, man. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Anthony Ramirez.
All right.
Army 04 to 12.
All right.
Up, bro.
Just want to give a shout out, man. I mean, to Donny too. Man, this stuff, it's therapy. It took me out of a hard situation, a hard time, and now I'm trying to do my own veteran podcast to help out other veterans, getting out when they're discharged for whatever reason they may be discharged. We're trying to give guidance to me and my battle buddy and all the aspects of reconnecting,
Oh my God. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I'm so glad that what we've made has been helpful to you. That's so sick.
Yeah, man.
And stick with the podcast.
John, you're like, we are. It's Thursday therapy. I'm going to send it to you on the feed. We give you a lot of free advertisement because, love that TV, bro. All subscribers.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Maybe there's something we can do merging podcasts together. We'll see.
There you go.
There's something.
Yeah, it'd be awesome, Donny. Hit me up, dude. Do you give me my contact info right here or type it? Or?
No, don't give it right here. You're going to give it to like thousands of people. What's wrong with you?
Hey, we want to reach out to thousands of veterans, You don't
want all those.
Give them your phone number and everybody send them a D-pic.
Everybody, you ready?
You were Navy?
Oh,
you're in San Diego, right?
He's like, oh, Marine. Yeah.
I'm right here in Orange County, man.
Oh, nice, dude. Not far at all.
All right. Meet at Dave's Donuts.
I'll go and put it in the text.
Right on. All right, Anthony. Thanks for the call, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, thank you, bro.
Right on. That was something I wanted to ask you, Donny, is what is the feedback your team has been getting from the content you put out? You've got, thousands and tens, hundreds, a big audience, right? And you got all these people that are consuming that content, and they're all having the same or very similar experience. What is it that they're saying? What's the feedback that's coming back to you guys from the content that you're creating?
The majority of the feedback is very similar to what he just said. Yeah. And we are insanely grateful for that. But for many of the people who watch the stuff, it has a therapeutic effect for them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them, they couldn't articulate why. All they know is that they feel better, and that their experience with us has compelled them to connect with other people that they've served with. And that's the almost more powerful community building aspect of the business, which is constantly trying to facilitate connections between veterans with shared experiences. Yeah. So that's why you make a show about an MOS. Well, everyone who served in that MOS can laugh together over that show. And they could write in the comments, oh, I remember that. I did this during this year on this base. And then someone's like, no way, I was there. And the next thing you know, they're friends. And then a couple of weeks later, they meet up, sucking each other's dicks. And it's all fun. Good time.
Right. We do have another call coming in if you guys want to take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what was your MOS?
My name is Corporal Matthew D. Reyes, a United States Marine Corps retired. My MOS was 0341 Infantry Mortarman. I was an 81 millimeter mortar tube stroker.
Right on.
With 3rd Battalion, 4th Marines, the most combat deployed battalion in the Marine Corps. Hoorah!
Hoorah! And you handled the big tubes.
Right.
I was a big tube guy. I didn't have a big tube, but I got to handle a lot of big tubes.
You compensated. You got the right MOS.
Exactly. Well, whenever I was with the 60s, I felt more like at home in my size, and then they put me with the 81s, and I was like, I'm definitely compensating for something here, fellows.
All right, brother, what do you got?
Well, I just wanted to tell Donny, hey, Donny, thank you so much for all the good times. I mean, I started out watching, like the barracks videos in the barracks, and got on to all the other stuff like the shop and what's the name of the one where the Jack Mandeville and Angry Cops,
Checkpoint Charlie,
they're on post.
Yeah, Checkpoint Charlie.
Yep.
Oh, Checkpoint Charlie, that shit is my jam.
It is one of the most relatable shows out there, right? In the sense of everybody pulled guard duty at one time.
Yep. And thanks for the call, brother. We'll let Donny answer you from here.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate the love, especially. Oh, did we lose him?
No, he's still there.
Okay. Yeah. I'm curious. How did you get retired?
Oh, I think he dropped.
Did he drop?
I think he dropped.
Yeah. He's still listening. So.
All right. Well, thanks for the love, man. I appreciate you. We're gonna keep making more good stuff for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and
we're going to take a short 2-minute break
and give it a little teaser out there.
Yeah. So we got a special. So we're going to be throughout the conversation of the next hour. Well, we got 35 minutes left, but we got a couple commercial breaks in between. This one is going to be the first one. So we got 2 minutes of some really great content commercials coming from Vet TV and Grunt Style. So we will pick back up in about 2 minutes. So stick around, watch some good content, and join us back, and we will continue our conversation with the one, the only, Donny O'Malley.
Share with your friends. You never know what you're going to see.
Kick it, nerd.
When we are in combat, we decide who lives and dies. We look at people and we're like, let's kill them. We have the power of God. the same frustration that we felt was just like, according to the rules of engagement, I'm not supposed to smoke this guy. But the people who made the rules of engagement, they're not here.
You put me in war, but then I go to be a savage beast, which you helped train me to be, and then you tell me that I'm not okay.
In the context of war, this mindset is good for winning wars. But you have to come out of this, and you have to understand how damaging a mindset like this is to good mental health.
The most important thing about trauma work and working with veterans is that you must keep things in context.
Yeah.
It's not like we're seeing this guy in downtown Los Angeles. We are doing all of this within the context of war in a foreign and violent land where they want to kill you. Bottom line.
Yep.
If you start taking things out of context, you will lose. The hypocritical piece of that is that therapists will say, well, that language is offensive. Fuck, we're in therapy. If the whole purpose is to express yourself and you tell me that my language is offensive, you basically just shut me down on how I feel.
They should feel free to let whatever is in here, to let it the fuck out.
What is patriotism? To many, it's being proud of the greatest nation on earth. It's serving a nation that's a force for good, or serving a community to keep it safe. It's citizens appreciating law enforcement, and law enforcement appreciating those they serve. It's unapologetically speaking your mind. It's being faithful to the founding principles of our nation. Patriotism in this country is good, and this will defend.
All right, and we're back. All right. So we know what Vet TV is. Yes. We know the comedy that they produce. We know the mission that they're on. And that great commercial talked a little bit about the mental health.
Phenomenal.
The hell to wellness, right? Now, we got a very special thing happening this weekend.
What's that?
And that's the Irreverent Warriors Silkie Hike. We had the opportunity of spending some time with them before the show this evening. What an incredible group of people that you put together there.
Family.
Donny. Yeah,
it's family.
It is quite amazing.
They are. God, Irreverent Warriors feeds my soul. Really, the organization does, because of the organization is the people.
Yeah.
And everyone that has taken that organization and made it their own, starting with Cindy and Nate.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's literally hundreds of volunteers, all volunteer, and their impact is insane because they bring so many veterans together.
Right.
And the effect of that, the community building that is done through the organization. And it's really all just an expression of love and respect for each other, which doesn't happen too much in the military.
Right.
It's all, the military is all hate and fuck you and abrasive and hey, that's what we got to be to win wars. Everyone's got to be hard.
Yeah.
But when you get out, if you want good mental health, you got to change the way you approach life and other people. And Irreverent Warriors embraces that.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool. It's such a beautiful organization.
It is probably I've been to probably 30, 40 different veteran organization events and stuff like that. It is in my top 2 of the most fun and most healing that I have in the veteran community, because it's such a range of emotions. Yeah. Every hike, I'm meeting, every hike in every city, I'm meeting some of the best friends I ever meet that still to this day, they're like, oh shit, you got to leave. I was like, yeah, we got to do some things with some people. But, you're going to laugh, you're going to cry, but at the end of the day is you're going to feel somewhat healed, and you're going to meet people that you'll be able to call at any time of day that get it.
So what was what motivated you to put this whole Irreverent Warriors thing together, right? What was the motivating factor? Because if I recall correctly, Irreverent Warriors was before Vet TV, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yep. So you former officer in the Marine Corps.
We don't hold that against you, by the way.
What you got out, you're like, okay, well, we'll figure out something to do, and then Irreverent Warriors comes. How did you get there?
Okay, let me walk it back real quick. So I was in Wounded Warrior Battalion for my last year and a half in the Marine Corps, and I was never hit by enemy fire. I'm just weak, and my body was just breaking through after 4 years in the grunts, and so I went there to have some reconstructive surgeries and finish out my service. Mm-hmm. And in it, all of my peers are all blown up and shot up.
Yeah, and
some of them together. Actually, the dude that I watched step on an IED was in the fucking unit with me. He's there because he fucking popped an IED. I'm there because I'm weak. It's quite comical. So I kind of hung out with most of the grunt combat arms guys who are all fucked up, and they spend all their days hanging out in their barracks rooms, watching fucked up videos, and telling horrific jokes and stories.
Right.
That's what they did. Right. These are, fucking 19 to fucking 30-year-old guys. And all they're doing is sitting around the barracks with alcohol and fucking YouTube videos. And there was a couple experiences I had with these guys where I was just blown away by how fucking dark their shit was. I mean, these guys would rip on each other for not having legs and for being burned and maimed and shit. They're ripping each other apart. And I'm like, I can't take part in this shit.
It's too savage.
I haven't earned the right to jump in here. And so in one particular instance, I remember there were two dudes kind of fucking arguing back and forth. And they were both in wheelchairs. One of them jumps out of his wheelchair onto the other guy, and his wheelchair falls backwards. And then there's a dude with no legs fucking humping this guy's face to the ground. And then there's a couple, there's a few other guys, and they kind of, gimp over. This was actually at a Marine Corps ball after the ball.
And, it sounds appropriate.
Yeah, sounds like a good night.
Yeah, we rented this apartment right outside Pendleton, and a couple other guys are holding the guy who's on the ground, getting his head fucking humped in. Head is fucking smashing into the tile. And they're holding his arms down and yeah, get his fucking pants off. This is a bunch of barbarians. And they did this for, a couple seconds. And then everyone fell to the ground in laughter for 5 minutes. And I remember in that moment looking at them, and I was just like, holy fucking shit. That was therapeutic for them. And I was still active duty at the time, but I was like, this is powerful shit.
Yeah.
And I thought, I wonder if I could create an environment outside of here where they could feel comfortable just being themselves like this. Because it reminded me a lot of me and my buddies.
Yeah.
And I'm just I felt bad that even in Wounded Warrior Battalion, they isolated themselves from everyone else. All the cancer patients, mental health cases, motorcycle accidents. They're like, no, we don't give a fuck about you guys. We're going to stick together on our own. So I'm like, I'd like to make something for them. Mm-hmm. Having always, since I was 16, 17, I'm the guy that everyone came and they partied at my house, or if not my house, I was taking us to a party, making something happen, events, sports, you name it. So I'm like, I'd like to do the same thing for them. And it didn't really materialize until after I was out. And I wanted to make a trip to Yosemite because being out in nature, hiking, feeling the weight again, but that wasn't going to happen with all these guys who are injured.
Right.
And logistically, it just sucked. So I was just like, you know what? I was telling my best friend, Ryan Loy, I was like, yo, dude, Yosemite trip isn't going to happen with anybody. Let's just get a bunch of the guys together. Let's go hiking on the boardwalk in Mission Beach and Pacific Beach. We'll take our shirts off. We'll fucking stop at bars. We got to carry some weight on our backs to feel the pain and, just be reminded of how we can laugh through pain.
Right.
And he goes, yeah, dude, except we got to do it in Silkies. And I was like, yes. The idea of the Silkie Hike was born. And the first hike, I thought was just going to have 10, 12 of the guys I went to Afghanistan with. A couple lieutenants and most of the sergeants was who I thought would show up. And it ended up turning into 75 people.
Wow.
And it was because we got some press for it.
Yeah.
I didn't have any social media presence at the time. So it was the press that drew them. And it was all MOSs, all branches of service. We had every fucking branch there, every MOS there. And the whole thing started just for guys who've been wounded by enemy fire.
Yeah.
That's badass.
And from that one event, the Marine Corps Times wrote a story on it. And then that got repurposed by all of the magazines in the Warner Media Empire.
Mm-hmm.
So they got around, and then a couple hikes started popping up in different cities, and people were like, "Hey, yo, will you come help me host this hike?" And then I spent the next year, and I was just like, "Well, I'm retired. I don't have anything else significant to do." I just published a book, and my dream was to create a production company, not for the military, just a production company.
Right.
And I'm like, I got the rest of my life to do that. Like, this is a really fucking special thing going on. Like, I'm going to run with this. And so I just committed. I dedicated myself full time to creating a headquarters element that could kind of manage these hikes that are going on all over the country. And I wanted to keep an element of safety there, the standards of quality for the event. I wanted to make sure people weren't trying to make money off of it. And I wanted the mission and intent to stay pure.
Yeah.
It was kind of based on a challenge from my father. And so, yeah, I dedicated myself to it full time. And I just finished the fucking military. And the next thing you know, I'm working 60 to fucking 80 hours a week for this nonprofit.
And look where it is today. Such a great organization, and led to such great connections in the military community, especially between not only Irreverent Warriors and Grunt Style, but Vet TV and Grunt Style too, which we had the great opportunity to work together on a project for the #1 branch in all of the United States military.
I didn't know there was other branches other than the Marine Corps.
Oh, I was just saying.
Everybody else's support. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, the Tuntab
connections,
the connections, and getting the opportunity to one be part of the Silkie Hike tomorrow, and putting on this incredible social that's going to be afterwards.
I'm gonna pour a shout out for my homie Davy Crockett at the Alamo. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. We managed to pull that one off at the 12th hour.
How the hell did we get the party at the Alamo?
I pulled a couple strings. No, but it's quite fantastic. And we're anticipating anywhere between 300 to 500 people are going to be part of the hike.
It's going to be like over 300.
Right? And then about 1,000 plus people coming to the social. And we've got 1,000 people registered for that. It's going to be at the social, it's going to be at the Alamo tomorrow. So if you're in the San Antonio area and you want to be a part of this, and if you've never, let me back this up. If you have never been a part of a Silkie Hike, an Irreverent Warriors Silkie Hike, and you're in the San Antonio area, now is your time. This is your chance. Come out and join this group of rabble rousers. This group of some of the. I always get made fun of it. Jessica over at Vet TV makes fun of me. She says I talk like I'm from the 50s.
You see, hey guy.
But you want to have this opportunity to hang out with some of the greatest individuals and share that moment that takes you back to your time in service, and have those laughs, have those cries. I love watching Donny at these events. I've never seen a man work so hard to talk to everybody at this event. And that's what you're going to get from this, is you're going to get the greatest caliber of interaction that is to really focus on fraternity, and focus on that mental health, and focus on all the things that makes this community as great as it is. So we step off tomorrow at 1100 here at Grunt Style headquarters, and then we end here, and then we're going to party for a little bit, and then head over to the Alamo. Yeah. So it's going to be great. I'm sorry you're going to miss it, Danny.
It's really, really, really sad.
You know what? I think Tim, you should live feed with Danny the whole time. So
I will. if he's not busy.
I would love to do that for a portion of it. Please.
Absolutely.
We should schedule a time. Can I throw something out there to everyone who's going to go? All right. So to all the dudes and chicks who consider themselves to be confident and outgoing, identify the people in the hike that might not be as confident and outgoing as you. And if I'm going to be specific, they're usually the ones not talking to anybody. And go get to know them. Yep. And it's the easiest thing in the world to do. This is what I do every hike. This is how I try and get to know the military community. As I say, hey, what's going on? What branch did you serve in and what'd you do? And they tell me what branch and they tell me their MOS. And I say, no way, what years did you serve? What units were you in? What bases did you serve at? And if you're a combat vet, what battlefields did you fight on?
Right.
And when it's easy to get someone to start talking.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Their military experience when you ask those questions. And then all of a sudden, they're just pouring stuff out. And they're telling you stories. And some of them are hilarious. And some of them are really, really fucking tragic, sad. Mm-hmm. And that's when, you see me, like, I'm not joking. I'm not like, trying to be a fucking comedian. I'm just quietly listening to someone because they're pouring their fucking heart out to me on this thing. And that right there is therapeutic to someone. And everyone made an effort to do that. It's a fucking powerful thing.
You're 100% right, and that reminds me of something. A message I got last night. I know we got to move on here soon. I met Ed in Chattanooga. He actually wrote me this last night. Dan, I know it's on the late side, but I've got to tell you something. That small conversation you had with me in Chattanooga at the pub really encouraged me to keep going to hikes. These have been the best things for me on so many levels. Semper Fi, you filthy fucking animal.
Was that Ed Scoggins?
Yep.
Hey, he just posted right here in the chat.
Well, hi, Ed. Welcome to the fucking thing.
It's fantastic. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
He's right.
And that's what brings everybody together. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to throw a couple more commercials at you guys. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes. So sit tight, watch some great stuff from Vet TV and Grunt Style, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
Ooh, yeah.
Why do Marine Corps officers have those silly squiggly lines on top of their barracks covers?
You mean the quatrefoil?
Yes, sir. I've got a good one for that.
Okay, here we go.
I got one.
Ooh. You sure about that, buddy?
Seems for second class. Man devil. Hey, get over
Yes, Gunny?
What do you think about designing something for the top of all these officer covers so we stop accidentally killing them?
The enlisted want equality.
Indeed, Henry. It seems as if they've forgotten their lot.
What about this, Gunny? Does this work?
Absolutely, sailor. Great job. How'd you come up with such a cool design?
That's the symbol of fire that flashes in front of Lord Satan's eyes when he comes to me during my night terrors.
You serious, Mikey?
My bad, Gunny. Old habits, I guess.
Bro, how does this keep happening? Didn't you see the quatrefoil?
No. Bro, I knew it was an officer. Just wanted to get him back for being a douchebag earlier. Don't take it anymore. Let's get the fuck out of here. Guys.
That's a pretty metal story, man. Hail Satan!
Second Lieutenant White gave his life for his country, thereby reflecting great credit upon himself, the units, and the United States fucking Army. No! Sir! Why'd you do that?
I'm not gonna do that again, okay? I swear.
You goddamn right you're not.
Yeah, no. What are you with?
I'm with 3rd Battalion, 2nd Jihad. Hala.
And she gives some top shelf head.
Get back or I'll cut him. Get back.
I am so fucking high right now! Come on!
But what is Vet TV for someone who doesn't know?
This is a place to come relive the military experience in a way that makes you laugh.
We are hanging with her.
Generally, civilians don't like seeing us the way we really are.
We're gonna have a meeting tonight with a few shitheads, so there'll be plenty of guys to kill.
Hell yeah. They don't like seeing our sense of humor because they don't understand it.
Oh. Look who's already sucking this CO's cock. It's horrible. It's like, yo, dude, you crossed the line. That shit's funny though.
And that's why I like Vet TV. When you watch it and you realize that's our day-to-day life. It's just shooting the shit, laughing to get over hard times.
Why'd you have to end it like this?
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I came up on him like this.
I didn't think he'd have the balls to do it.
I didn't think so either. He just fucking did it.
All right, everybody. We are back with Donny O'Malley from Vet TV. Dan, Eric. I don't know what he does here.
I don't know either.
But we're back.
Wait, what do I do here?
I try to figure that out every day. So the last time we were talking a little bit about the Irreverent Warriors and the Silkie Hike that is happening here in San Antonio tomorrow, and the social that comes with that. But I really wanted to bring it back for one moment, because one of the most fantastic individuals that I had the pleasure of meeting was Cindy. She is the head honcho over at IW, and I wanted to give you an opportunity. One, I'm just curious, how did you find her? Like, how did you get her into the organization, and what was the path that really unleashed her to build this vision that or execute on the vision that you had?
She participated in a hike, if I'm not mistaken. She'll correct me if I butcher this, but
you're correct.
Hikes. I think it was Savannah, and then she started helping out. She experienced something amazing on her first hike, and she saw it for exactly what it was. Mm-hmm. It was like, oh my God, I have to help facilitate these. So she started asking about volunteering, and she was reliable and dependable, and she could execute. And so she kept being given more responsibility. Now, keep in mind, at the time, I wasn't really running the organization. There were two civilian women running the organization, named Sam Brown and Allie Mellon. They were running it. And so Cindy was one of the volunteers who kept getting more and more responsibility. And then I believe she hosted a hike. And I think she might have hosted the next Savannah one. And she wanted more. At some point, she then became the national hike coordinator. We had one of the person who was that job lost the job. I'll just say that. Mm-hmm. And we were like, actually Sam and Allie said, Cindy's the next, the one to take the job. Mm-hmm. So Cindy took the job, and her daughter Stephanie was also hosting hikes. Mm-hmm. And they kind of tag teamed things, and Cindy was incredible. I mean, and back then I didn't even get to know her that well, unfortunately. I just kept hearing about how awesome she was and the great things that she was doing. Every conversation I had with her, I'm like, wow, this woman is on point with all the things. And she's been more reliable and dependable than many of the volunteers that we had worked with. Running an organization full of volunteers is a really hard thing, because these people have full lives. Yeah. They have families and jobs and whatnot, in addition to this thing. So Cindy handled it wonderfully. And eventually we had another president. I replaced myself as president. And when it came time to move on from him, Cindy was the next one up. And I was like, Cindy, we really need you in this position. And she was like, I don't know. And I said, do you think there's a team of people who would, if you were the president, would follow you to hell and back? And she said, yes. I said, how soon do you think you could get them on your team? She said, I don't know, a couple of days. So, well, I think you're the right person for the job. And then the next day or so, we officially made her the president. And then all of a sudden, all these people come out of the woodwork saying, I want to work for Cindy. I want to volunteer for her. And that, when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's really powerful.
That's great.
And that says something about a leader, for people to be asking for the opportunity to work for them for free.
Yeah.
Cindy's motive and enthusiasm and passion and truly caring about people is contagious.
Yep.
Because it goes well beyond the hikes. It goes to individuals and people as well.
I think she just has a tremendous personality and a heart of gold.
She really does. And no time for bullshit. And she won't deal with anybody else's bullshit or rumors or drama or anything like that, as I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Mama's punched me in the dick once or twice.
So I know a lot of people are trying to call in, and we haven't been ignoring you. We've just been really caught up in some great conversation. But let's open up the last half of the time we have left, and we got about 10 minutes. Well, we can go over. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's not like we're paying for this. But we can go over. But let's. I'd love to take as many phone calls as we can, and we'd love to hear what you got to say. Let's. So if you
let's do about 3-4 minutes of phone calls. So if you guys call in, let's keep it short, get to the point.
Hello.
And, then
what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, sir. What's up? What's your name? Where you call from, man? And what's your MOS?
My name is Joseph Duncan. I'm calling from Parker, Pennsylvania.
All right. What's up, my friend? What's on your mind?
Oh, I've got a lot of things on my mind, but what I got a couple questions for Yin. Well, actually, more for Donny.
He said Yin. You're from Pittsburgh area, aren't you?
Send it.
Oh, definitely from Pittsburgh.
Send it.
Go Yins. All right. First question. When are you going to bring the Silkie Hike to Pennsylvania? Like, the only one that was close enough to me was, like, Richmond. And it was like, oh, when's that? This weekend. I was like, oh, man, really?
We just clarified that Cindy's now the president of Irreverent Warriors. You can hit them up at irreverentwarriors.com and ask your question via email. Next question, please. See what I did there?
Next question. My next question is really what caused you, Donny, to want to start the whole Vet TV thing? Like, what started it all? What was like, you know what, I need to actually do something about all of this?
This is my favorite story.
Well, the initial when something hit me, like, oh fuck, I need to make something for the whole community, was when I had started making videos and I had released like 4 of them. And back then I didn't have any following. No one really knew who I was except the Irreverent Warriors community. And I started making videos that were just parodies of the military experience. The first one was titled, it was a mockumentary, First Woman to Graduate IOC Discovered to Have Penis. At infantry officer. So that was the first video that I did. That went viral immediately. And then I made another parody of frustration, like giving a combat order. And then I did another guy walking up on a guy jerking off on post. And then another guy who comes home from deployment. And when he's having sex with his girlfriend, he can only bust a nut when he has the smell of shit in his nostrils.
What? That's crazy.
So I made those videos, and I'm reading through the comments, and I saw, I don't know, at least a dozen times on several different videos, I would pay for this. And so I'm sitting there thinking to myself, well, I don't have a job, and my dream has always been to create a production company. And I have always, during my time in the military, I lived the military like it was a movie. And
really?
And then I experienced life like that, like I'm watching a movie. Boot camp, combat, hard training, like all of it. It was wild. And I thought to myself, well, fuck, how can I make videos about the military experience and make people laugh and feel good and feel like, oh yeah, fucking, that was my experience, and make a living doing it. And through my research, the best thing to do was to have a monthly subscription. So I literally Googled how to start my own Netflix. And world is, by the way, for people who don't know how to do shit. Google it.
Yeah.
And so I typed that in through the research. I was like, oh, wow, there's a website where it doesn't cost you any money. You can put the videos on there and you can sell for $5 a month or whatever you want, and they'll just take a cut of every subscription. I'm like, okay, so this is possible. Holy fuck. And then I'm like, well, I can't just make the grunt stuff like I've been doing. I got to make something for everyone. I got to make one show for every fucking MOS and make everyone who served feel proud. And like, so them and their friends could text each other, be like, yo, dude, did you see that show on Vet TV about our MOS and like administration or tankers or fucking AAVs or MPs, you name it. I wanted people of different MOSs to text their friends like, yo, have you seen that show? It's about us. They nailed it. That was the initial vision. That's how it worked.
It worked. Holy shit. It worked.
Well, thank you. And hey, we appreciate the questions and we appreciate the call, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Oh, dude. Love you guys.
Keep carrying on, my friend.
Yeah. Stay hard.
I mean, that's got to be the greatest feeling in the world to know that people are taking it and receiving it, and it's impacting their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah.
So what I heard there's a new show that came out on Vet TV.
What?
Yeah, a bunch.
Yeah.
Are we talking health and wellness?
Yes,
we are.
Of course we are. And I'm super excited to hear about this. Because I got a flash of it not too long ago in the conversation, and I'm super excited to hear you share it with everybody else.
Okay, so Mental Hell and Wellness is a web series. We want to convert it to a podcast, but I don't know if the audio quality is good enough. So now it's a video web series where we have conversations with mental health professionals every episode. And we talk through the things that military members experience. We talk through the chemicals that are being released in their brain when certain things happen. And we talk through the power of humor, but especially dark humor. One of the things that we talk about is that association to a memory, a negative association. You can change that to a positive association. That's part of the rewiring that many of us need to do when we leave the military. And we talk about some of the culture and the mindset that exists in the military. You know, like, for example, when you first join, your first thing you're told is you are no longer an individual. And you need to keep your bearing, which means you are no longer have the luxury of expressing yourself, right? Like, whatever you're thinking and feeling, nobody fucking cares. Fucking shut the fuck up and do what you're told.
Right.
Achieve the mission. And that's needed. Like, that can't change. That's needed for winning wars, standing an army that defends a nation. But that's not good for mental health, especially not in the long term, especially not if you want healthy relationships outside of the military with people who aren't embedded in that culture. So these are the types of conversations that we have with mental health professionals. And what we want to do is get military members, past and present and future, to understand their own mind a little bit better so that they can gain control of it and then live a life that they don't want to end. That's the intent of the show.
Yeah. Powerful.
It's education, right? You got to know the mind.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like all these guys, they know, they can tell you everything about the pec muscle and what fucking movements to do to get the pec muscle to be, but they can't tell you shit about their own fucking brain.
Yeah.
And yet they're a mess. When they're not in the gym, they're a mess.
Yeah.
So it's like, unlearn the brain.
Yeah. Absolutely. Mindfulness
Yes.
training. You know, that is the biggest thing. You know, if I can say anything to the veteran community, if you are not aware or practicing mindfulness and all that comes with it, you're failing yourself, right?
Yes.
There is a lot of power to it. The anxiety, the reduction of anxiety foremost, right? I would put mindfulness training in front of any sort of cocktail that the VA would subscribe to anybody or prescribe to anybody rather, and it works, right? I know that you're a big advocate of it. I know that I practice it. Having that moment, an hour to yourself where you can just reflect and go through the motions of really thinking about yourself and the impacts that you had on others throughout the day, and the environments that impact you and set your triggers off. We all have them, and just being mindful of them, and it makes us a better person, and we can work through them at a better pace without hurting people. And that's the most important thing. We don't want to hurt anybody with the pains that we deal with. And I think, through the humor that you provide is that a very specific outlet, and that's fantastic.
Can I give a specific example of what you're talking about, mindfulness?
Absolutely.
Because I know as a concept to you and I, it's just like, yeah, of course you need to be aware of what you're thinking and feeling.
Right.
But to people who aren't familiar with the concept, it might seem, the easy thing for everyone to do is fucking Google it.
Right.
But I want to give an example from my personal experience that I think could potentially resonate. So one time, and this is probably within the last year or two, I was driving in my car down the freeway, and I usually do not play music throughout the day. I usually drive in silence or have an audiobook. In this moment, I was driving in silence. And as I'm driving, like, this is the look on my face as I'm driving. And then all of a sudden I look in the mirror, and I just had, like, my whole body was just like,
tense up.
tense, right? And all the shit's crinkled. And I look in the mirror and I look at my own face, and I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And then I'm like, wait a second, why is my face like that? Why am I? And I became aware.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's wrong with me? What is going on? Why do I feel like this? And I started asking myself, what the fuck is going on? What the hell what thought entered my mind that made my body do this?
Yeah.
And then I started walking my thoughts back. And I walked it back to a phone call that I had earlier that morning. And that phone call was really uncomfortable. And I don't remember exactly what it was. Somebody rubbed me really wrong. Like, I think I felt really not respected.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that the way I responded was, all of us guys, someone doesn't respect us, we get like this, and our intensity goes, and we say something nasty. And so now I just hurt a relationship.
Yeah.
And my body is expressing that with this as I'm driving. Being mindful means understanding what you are thinking and how you are feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes looking in the fucking mirror in order to identify that most of the time.
Absolutely.
You don't need the mirror. You could just think like, okay, how am I feeling right now? And it's really, am I really happy right now? Am I sad? Am I angry? Do I have anxiety? And you just ask yourself those fucking pillars. And if the answer is yes to any one of them, then you got to ask why.
Right.
How did I get here? And you just walk yourself back. And sometimes it's not a phone call. Sometimes it's just you woke up in the morning and you started thinking about your loved one. Maybe you're fighting with them, or maybe you cheated on them, and you think that they're fucking suspect, and now there's this, or they cheated on you, and there's this, you live with this for fucking years. Right? Like, you have to be mindful of those things. And that's the point of a therapist.
Yep.
The therapist is there because you don't know how to walk your own thoughts back. So the therapist helps you walk your thoughts back.
Absolutely.
Well, everyone probably should still have a therapist, but you can provide a therapy for yourself if you learn how to walk your thoughts back and figure out how you got to what you're thinking and feeling right now.
Absolutely. We got a call. Oh, did they drop?
No, they dropped. Yep.
The phone lines are going crazy, but you're absolutely right. And all right, we got a call. All right, hello, caller. What's your name? Where you call from?
Hey, long time caller, first time listener. It's your buddy Corn Cob. How you doing, Dan and Tim?
What's up, Chris? How you doing, boss?
I'm doing good. Hey, once again, I just want to thank you guys for all that you do, and for all of you guys at Vet TV. I 100% agree with you. Comedy is the way to go. Laughter is absolutely the best medicine. And watching your shows and whatnot, God, I just laugh my ass off, and it really helps me through some of the bad times.
And if I know Corn Cob well enough, he masturbates to a lot of those shows.
Thank you.
Only to your profile, Dan.
That's gross. You live a depraved life, Chris. I'm sorry.
It's the 11 Bravo way.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, thanks for the call, Chris. Appreciate it very much, man.
Thank you, Chris.
Hey, quick question for you while I got you on the line. This series that you guys filmed with Tim and Dan, the Ton Tavern, I cannot find it on your app. What the hell's the deal with that?
Hasn't launched yet.
No, it's not launched yet. Right now, it's on distribution on the Grunt Style Facebook. First episode is out. We have 3 more coming out within the next couple of months. The next one, the Shores of Tripoli, is
fucking ridiculous.
Fucking ridiculously stupid funny.
I haven't even seen the first one yet.
So go watch it, you dumbass.
Go watch it on Grunt Style's Facebook page. It's there. You can find it.
Okay, well, you guys told me it was going to be on Vet TV, and I couldn't find it there.
There it is, but not now. Later.
It is going to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry
Corn
for
Cob. Corn Cob is running backwards through the cornfields once again.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thanks for the call, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
11 Bravo. I'm in the app waiver.
I know you've established that already. All right, nice flex, bro.
You guys have a great night.
Love you, Corn Cob.
Keep doing what you do.
Roger.
All right. Well, what a great night. I think we should do this at least once a month.
Oh, that's too much.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have that kind of
Actually, it's in our contract.
No, but before we go, there's one thing I just really want to touch on what we were just talking about, and I think it's really important, and I think you could pick up on this, Donny, is that when it comes to mindfulness, we come from that warrior culture that we're trained to kill, we're trained to destroy things, we're trained to break things and do all this different stuff and be very alpha, be very aggressive, and we are never ever taught to be self-reflecting. Right? That is not what we're taught to do. And I can't stress to everybody that's listening how important it is. And really, it could be the thing that saves a person's life when it comes to stress and anxiety, is being reflective, being mindful, spending that time to really be in a quiet space, think about the things that is in your environment and that affects you, and what is the message and the tone and the body language that you're putting out into the universe. I think that is extremely important. And I know, Donny, you and I, we have great conversations, in very, very deep conversations about this, because it is probably the most important thing that our community needs. And
Yes.
What you guys do over there, I think you're nailing it head on every time.
It's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
So, like Dan had said, this has been an incredible time.
This seems like part 1 of a mini series. I think we can keep establishing off of this and just go.
Absolutely.
Go a little deeper, have a little bit more fun, have some laughs, talk some serious shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah.
Well, anytime
it's called me putting all you guys on the spot to say yes, we're going to do this again next month.
I know, and you see us, we're like,
Yeah, you're like you son of a bitch.
No, but the one thing I do want to say, Donny, I love you, man. Love everything that you and your team are doing. I couldn't be more proud to know you for the many years that we've known each other, and the things that you're doing for our community. Couldn't be more proud, and I'm just glad to be in your orbit, man.
I share all the same sentiments about you and your company and your team. You guys have been amazing to me since the first day I came into your office many years ago. So thank you so much for all the opportunities you've given me.
Any parting words you'd like to share with everybody out there that's listening?
Yeah, if you haven't subscribed to Vet TV yet, it's only $5 a month. Just try it. Mm-hmm. You might not love everything that's on there, but I guarantee you there is at least one show on there that becomes one of the favorite things you have ever watched on television in your life. Mm-hmm. just have to actually watch the shit and see what you like and what you don't like. But just try it for 1 month. And if you like it, stay. If you don't, bounce. But we're going to do our damnedest to get you to love it and keep you engaged and keep you laughing, because we release new content several times a week. So just give it a try. That's what I would love from everyone.
You will not be disappointed. You won't. It's better than Disney Plus.
Only when Jack Mandeville's naked.
Yeah, I mean, I watch Vet TV over The Mandalorian all the time.
fuck your baby Yoda. We want Big Belly Jack.
Right on.
Yeah.
So, what an incredible time. Appreciate it very much, Donny, and thank you for you spending some time with us. I want to thank the Vet TV staff for letting us have a little bit of your time, and thank the Vet TV audience for us having the opportunity to share some time together. And we'll hope to do it again very soon. And for all the Grunt Style listeners, if you want to go check out Vet TV, go to the Vet TV, go to the App Store, download the app, get involved. You will not be disappointed. And if you're a club member, there are some perks that will get you over.
Big perks. Yeah. Check your packages, because there's a little flyer in there.
That's right.
It gives you some good shit.
You will be able to enjoy all of Vet TV's products if you are a club member. So check that shit out. All right. So with that being said, what a great night. We're out of here. I got to get ready for this hike tomorrow. I know it's only a couple miles, but man, I'm fucking out of shape.
Stop it. I got to go. I did my first hike 13 miles after two months after surgery.
I don't even walk to the mailbox, Dan, so shut the fuck up.
I'm about to go eat Thanksgiving dinner.
All right. Well, Donny, thank you so much, my friend. You enjoy the rest of your evening in lovely Southern California. I wish I was there. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go home and get some rest.
I'm gonna go home and eat and have some. All
right. We're out of here. Toodaloo, everybody, and remember, as always, be kind to one another, be safe, and wash those stinking booger hooks. COVID's a thing,
and it's pretty hot in Texas. Wash your ass, dude.
All right, let's get out of here.
The Cav Scouts. Often mistaken for infantry, they actually just have really cool hats. The ultimate peacock of the front lines.
Now tell them you are never going to be a United States Marine because you are busy being a Blue Falcon.
You cheer, you
Good afternoon, Sergeant.
Good morning, Sergeant.
Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
We are saluting the skipper, right? Because that's how we salute in ISIS now.
Stolen valor!
Stolen valor!
Oh, well, I'm definitely going to be milking this heroism thing for a couple years.
All right, Soldier's Medal recipient right here, folks.
Hey, Lori, I want to see my kids when I get home. I ain't playing with you.
What is patriotism? What does it mean? To many, it's being proud of the greatest nation on earth. But it's more than pride. Patriotism is about respect and responsibility. It's helping a neighbor in need, regardless of their politics. It's serving a nation that's a force for good, or serving a community to keep it safe. It's citizens appreciating law enforcement, and law enforcement appreciating those they serve. It's being an honorable, law-abiding citizen. Patriotism is unapologetically speaking your mind. Patriotism is being faithful to the founding principles of our nation, working hard, and raising a family. Patriotism in this country is good, and this will defend.